Hello, everyone. This is Dialogo, and this is your host, Josh. Today, I'm here with my friend Efrain. As I said before, this podcast is, to bring my friends in and, have them drop a little knowledge of what they know and their experience in the business. I'm going to let Efrain give you a little background of himself so you know who he is, and then we'll go on from there. Efrain, it's
Awesome.
all yours, man.
Thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Efrain Rodriguez. Pretty much a guy that sells insurance, does all types of stuff, builds houses, has a teeth whitening place,
Wow.
investor. So yes.
Wow, dude. Your name on Instagram is pretty cool, dude. It always caught my attention. It was that the insurance lord, and it's it actually symbolizes who you are in that business, because you're pretty big. It's something that I admire, that you pretty much look out for that business a lot.
Definitely. I chose that name. I'm thinking of a name. It was at night, and I'm like, I need something catchy. That's someone that when they see me, they actually don't know my name, but they know me as the insurance lord in the streets. And it has come to that. When people see me at I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't even know my real name.
Okay.
But they see me, the insurance lord, and that's how I came up with that name.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it's pretty catchy. I mean, just imagine being called out at the club. Like, oh, that's the insurance lord. Oh shit,
yeah. And it's just the image that I kind of want to give, obviously.
Yeah.
Because my bread and butter is selling insurance.
Oh wow. When did you start this whole insurance project?
I started since 2007, since I came into the insurance industry. We used to work construction. I was like, oh man, this is not for me. I graduated, went to construction, and I was just kind of paying the bills. I mean, I was just 18, 19.
Okay.
It's kind of like, I wanted things. I started working. So I was like, that's not for me. I went into the insurance industry. I worked for an insurance company, pretty big. I was there for 4 years. And after that, I went to another insurance company, and then I started working for someone else. And then I started growing within the company for them. Oh. I was very timid. I was very timid, not no more. I was scared of growing. They used to be like, "Hey, Efrain, we're gonna promote you. You're a manager now." I was like, "No, I want to be."
Did you feel comfortable? And then
I didn't. I was the type of person that would sit in the back, mm-hmm. and I was kind of like, whoever I get. I was very shy.
Oh, okay.
And then when I started off, they'll put you in the front. That way you can kind of like, hey, you need to get your feet wet.
Yeah.
I started doing that, and then as the time progressed, I was getting better at it. I'll talk more, getting more comfortable. Your self-esteem starts to grow more.
For sure.
And then, after that, it's like, okay, nobody could stop me. I learned their trait very well. I know I was like, I'm a salesperson. Like, I'm a salesperson. I can sell you a pin if you have a pin on you.
Yeah.
So I did that for a couple of years working for other companies. And after that, I was like, I was telling you earlier, I went to school. I went to college to become a cop.
Wow.
I went to become a cop. They give you a checklist of, there's like 12 things and like 8 interviews. And I was going down the list, and credit check, background, making sure your social media is not they check everything.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yes. It's like 7 interviews. So I did that. I spent 2 years in college to become a cop because I think you needed 61 college credits. All right. So I got them. All right. Yeah. I'm done. I got them. I go present it. Hey, I'm done with everything that you want. I did that. They rejected me. And I'm like, that's my dream job. Like,
for sure.
I want to be a cop. I want to be a cop so bad. I want to be a detective, SWAT, and you see yourself into that. And no, they rejected me. And I remember I was outside the parking lot and for HPD, and they were like, I was depressed. I was like, my dream job just went down the drain. They didn't accept me. The reason they didn't accept me, it was very unclear. It said personal character. I guess they just want a person that goes to work, school, work home.
How was that for you after, how did you process that in your head? How did you outcome that?
I remember I was looking at the HPD building, and I was like, they ruined my dream. Like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do now? And I was already 26 years old. I'm like, I'm 26 years old. I feel a little bit old already, like, and I haven't done anything for myself. And I almost promised myself by the age of 27, I needed to be working where I will retire. So by the age of 27 was always my number, 27, 20.
Where's that from Pablo Escobar, the series? Now where he's like, if I'm not a millionaire by 21, like I'm going to kill myself, sort of thing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I didn't even know that now that you mentioned it. But yes, that number was on my head. I'm like, I already did this, I already did that. I mean, I did all types of stuff. I have my CDL. I drove 18-wheelers. I mean, I was just trying to I was trying to do something, and I didn't know what I was like shooting for.
You were banging on doors.
I was banging on doors, exactly. And I didn't know, and it's hard to find out. That's the hardest thing, finding what you're good at and applying it to yourself. Because a lot of people ask me, what do you do for a living? I think you're asking the wrong question. You should ask yourself, what am I good at, and apply that knowledge and multiply it times 10 or 100, but apply it towards yourself. Because if you ask me, what do I do for a living? Well, I sell insurance and I build houses and whatnot. You probably don't like to sit behind a desk like I do. Yeah. I mean, you probably want to be out there driving. I mean, I don't know. So I think you're asking the wrong question, because if you want to do what I do, it's not going to work, because you don't have the love and the passion for it. You need to have a love and passion for what you do.
Yeah. And it's something that I discussed, last time Jaime was here, was like, you have to put love and passion into something that you actually like, because you don't want to be miserable doing a job that, you don't want to.
Just for the money.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works for me. So yeah, age 27 was when I was like, okay, what am I good at? What am I good at that I've been successful at? And I just need to apply that to myself and invest in myself. So I was like, I'm good at insurance. I'm like, I'm top seller. I'm like, hey, everything that I've done for companies, let me do it for myself.
Yeah.
So I didn't have much money. I really didn't. I had a credit card that I had good credit. They gave me a $20,000 credit card, and I had $20,000 in my savings. So I had 40.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. The company that I started offered me the franchise that I purchased. They wanted 50. I'm like,
they wanted 50 as a down payment, or
they just wanted it as liquid cash. They wanted to see it in your bank account. And now it's not the same amount. It's way more. But at that time it was 50,000. I'm like, oh crap. So you start asking for people like, let me borrow money, but they don't see. They don't start, how are you going to pay me back? Like, how are you going to pay me back? They don't see the legitimate reason of.
They don't see the value in you.
Yes, they don't.
Yeah,
they do not see that. And that's something that carries you, that the saying that whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Because I go back to that. I was like, I used to remember like asking people like, let me borrow money. Let me put it in my bank account, and then I'll give you a check, and that's your money. I totally understand. So no, started saving. I got to the 50,000. I got approved, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I did it.
Yeah.
So I was a big believer. I'll get income taxes. My income taxes, until this date, I haven't seen an income tax. Every income tax, I'll save it. Yeah, I have kids, so they'll give me 8,000 or 7,000.
Te ha venido bien este año pasado, papi.
No, ya ahorita ya no. Esos días de income tax ya no. Ahora tengo que pagar.
Yeah.
Pero yeah, I started off saving. That's why I tell people, save money until you know what's your objective for saving money. If you don't know what you're saving for, then it kind of kills the
value of saving is.
Yes, because a lot of people say like, oh, I have all this savings. Well, what are you saving for?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well,
but some people save for just an emergency. Or maybe like someday I want to buy me a watch or something like that.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you have a goal.
Yeah.
If you say I don't know, then I feel that you can do something. I think your money's gonna have more worth not being in the bank. It's you need to move it around.
Yeah, you got to invest it somewhere.
Or do something.
Oh, it's some people just don't like to spend money at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I respect. I totally respect for that. So I was a big risker. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna invest all this money in myself. I was like, but it was a hit or miss. What you start getting that what if, and that what if is what kills a lot of people, because you're not gonna jump into the water because you're thinking that what if.
Correct.
So what if holds a lot of people's dreams and thoughts and ambitions. So I was like, you know what if doesn't exist if you don't actually do it? So I was like, all right, let me do it. So I got all my money. I got approved for this company. I bought the franchise. I did it. First month, I opened my doors April 1st, 2016. I opened my first business. I was paying more for my insurance office than I was paying for my mortgage.
Wow.
So it's like, it's scary.
Yeah.
And
you did this all by yourself.
by myself. Because keep in mind, I was asking for help.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to help me. Like closed doors.
And I feel like, I don't know if that's just a Houston thing, dude, but a lot of people do that here, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of people close the doors and not until they see that you're actually doing good.
Something.
Like, oh shit, well, let me help you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's always like that. It is like that. And like I said, I don't know if it's a Houston thing or a culture thing or I don't know what is it. But yeah, I knocked on doors, asked for help. No. So the way in my sales job is like you get 10 no's to get one yes.
Correct.
So I was like, all right, I got on my 10 no's. Let me go for my one yes, which was me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of selfish in a way where I got to look out for myself first, then other people.
Yeah, you have to, because then sometimes you catch yourself worrying too much about other people, you know, and you're like, oh, what me tengo que preocupar de esta persona, you know, this stuff.
Correcto.
And you forget about yourself. You forget
Yes.
about what your values are.
Yep.
And your family. Sometimes you put them aside and you put in other people in front of you.
Yep.
And the people that really back you up is your family.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I became, after I did that, I was like, I opened my business. 30 days later, I'm like, oh wow, it worked. And then 60 days later, oh wow, like it's positive.
Yeah.
So I was like that. What if would have held me back if I would never had jumped into the water? You either sink or swim.
Yeah. Were you scared? Like the first day that you
Yes.
opened? Like
I was scared. I wasn't scared the day I opened. Whenever I opened, I was already kind of like numb. I was like, just open the door.
Whatever happens.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
And you start putting, like, that's what I would say, like you have to have passion and love for what you do. I was like, I did this for years for other companies. I'm doing it now for me.
Yeah.
Like it must work. So it needs to work. So bam, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, a year later, 2 years later, here I'm sitting like years later, 5 years plus, and it's been going good for me.
Man, and that's a badass story that you're able to say I did this for myself.
Yes.
Type of shit, you know, and just to see how far you've come now, dude. I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
It brings me now. My self-esteem is I feel my self-esteem is high. Some people might see it like, oh, he's cocky or not, but it's not in a bad way. It's just that I know what I went through in order to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm still not at the position that I want to. I still want to grow more. That's why I kind of branch it out to other otros negocios.
Sí.
Por eso no quise poner todos mis huevos en una canasta. So that's what I did, and it's worked. I take a lot of risks on a yearly basis. That it goes back to my first day. What if? Okay. I failed. I've opened things that haven't worked out the way I would like to, and you know what? Hey, you know what? It's a learning. It's a lesson that I learned, and come on, like don't look back.
I mean, I read this book before. It's a weird thing about it. I went to Target, and I was just, you go into the bookstore and you're like, this book looks nice, and I get it, and it was in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
And when I get to my apartment, I started reading it, and it was a Christian book, dude. I was like, damn, dude, like I'm not religious. I'm not a Christian, but I'm gonna still read it. And it was about this warrior that he was waiting for the enemy to come, but he didn't know which way it was coming from.
Okay.
And they had a god telling them in their ear, like, it's coming from the north, it's coming from the south. And he had a pocket full of flechas.
Okay.
And the god was like, hey, the enemy is coming from the north, shoot that way. And the guy, what he does, he puts una flecha in an arc and he shoots it, and he's like, oh, okay, it's done.
Uh-huh.
And the god is like, no. I was like, I told you it was coming from that way, but I didn't tell you it was just one.
One.
Yeah. And the whole metaphor of the story is that your life is that bag of flechas,
Yeah.
every shot that you take is like, oh, I'm gonna do it. It's a chance that you're taking every time.
Yep.
And you don't want to die and have a bag full of flechas behind you.
Exactly.
Because you want to just do everything. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna just try it. And I thought that was a really nice una anécdota that really comes to mind when you say that, like, I'm gonna take a shot for it.
Yep.
I do it myself. Like, if I want to try something, I'm gonna try it. Like, if this podcast de la noche a la mañana, I was like, hey, I want to do this podcast. My girl was like, okay. I was like, oh, the next day I went to the store, bought everything, and I did it, and I'm here, creating a podcast. And then if I want to do something next time, I'll do it, and then I'll take that chance because it's a hit or miss, dude.
Yeah, and exactly. That's something that you mentioned. Like, I don't want to die living a life of regrets. Yeah. That's something that haunts me every night. Like, when I was a little kid, I used to want, anything from a Power Ranger to a go-kart to a Power Wheels to a BB gun to you will see all these things when you're a little kid. I was like, man, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish that had that. Now I do it. I get excited for my kids, like me going buying a Power Wheels for them. I was like, I wanted a Power Wheels when I was a little kid. And I was like, now I'm getting it for them. Yeah. I'm more excited for them. I was like, than them. So it's little things like that. Anything, a watch, anything that I see, I work hard for it and I execute it. I take it off my checklist. Because that's one of the things, like you said, I don't want to die living with a bag full of arrows.
Yeah, it's a nice story to say, and then with you saying about your kids, I didn't grow up in a bad family or anything. I had everything I wanted, but I want to say, because my father and my mom worked their ass off to give me that stuff. I didn't have the best life, but I was happy.
Good. Yes, exactly.
I was happy. Yeah. And I feel like when I have kids, I want to do the same that you're doing for your kids, give them everything that I can. Not comparable at all, but I have a dog now, and I buy everything. I buy every single toy, and then I get excited. Because I'm buying something for them.
Yeah, and I do that. I have a dog as well, and I'm out there and I show them love. My time is very very thin. I run a busy schedule throughout the week, and that's what keeps me going. I like the adrenaline of being busy. So I show whenever I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to touch my phone. I'm here with you. And I do the same thing with my companies. I'm there and I'm there with them individually.
Have you ever had that instance when you're talking to somebody and you keep on getting phone calls and a phone's ringing and ringing, but you don't want to answer the phone in front of that person? Do you think that's it's rude, or is it just like a Mexican thing that
I've always had that situation. Yeah. It just kind of depends. If I'm talking to you and my phone keeps on ringing from one of my companies or whatnot, and what you're telling me is just, you're probably just talking to me like, hey, how you been? How's your day going?
Yeah.
I will be like, give me a quick second. Let me get this phone call real quick. And I explain myself, what am I doing? Now you're talking to me about work and we're going to expand this and we're going to do this and we're opening a business. So you're talking something about that's important to me at the point. So I think I'm going to return the phone call because I leave all my companies. I think I leave them with a head honcho that he would know what to do whenever I'm not there.
Okay.
So it's those daily calls that I have with them to make sure that, hey, I don't call you one day and then something comes up where you think you need my green light or whatnot. I think you're able to take that responsibility.
And this is a question. I'm going to ask on behalf of all the people that have businesses or starting businesses. How do you manage your personnel, your managers, your workers? Like, what's a good management?
I'm the type of person that, let's say I'm out with my employees for whatever reason, a Christmas dinner or whatever. I don't like for them to say I'm their boss. That's me personally. I want them. We're all coworkers. We're all coworkers. I'm nothing with them, and I guess kind of by vice versa. So I need them. Okay, I'm a very person that knows how to value a person. So that's one of the biggest things. I don't like for them to say, oh, I'm their boss. Yeah, they know, people know, whatever. But we're all the same, okay? Because I need them as well. So I empower them to be little mini me's of me.
That's good.
So that's something, an advice that I don't know, that works for me.
And like you said, you have like a head person in every business that you have. And you said that, you always count on them on knowing what to do if you're not there. And then I guess that's the whole object of that person. What if I can't trust you and being there, you can't really, be the head person.
Exactly.
There. Yeah,
exactly.
That goes a lot hand to hand. You touched you told me at the beginning that you had like a building company, right?
Yes. Also, a construction company. I build houses from scratch. It's called Empire Home Builders. Started that about 2 years ago, 3 years. Yeah, 2 years ago. Start off with that. The same thing. I follow the same scenario when I started to open my office. I got a little cash together. I'm like, okay, let me do something. I started with a good friend of mine. So he had a little cash. I had a little cash. Hey, let's come together and let's build a house. It's something that interests me in building and things like that, running people and things like that. So we did it. We built our first house. The first house wasn't very much of a success, but we got our money back. Okay. So it wasn't a loss, but it was. I took it like as paid school.
Okay.
So we did
learn.
that.
You learned.
I learned
that. Yeah.
Exactly. I learned. We didn't get money off of it. We just got our money back. Which at that point, if you didn't lose any money, it's winning.
Yeah.
So we did that. We did it again. We did it again. And then now, obviously, he went his way. We went our way. But now everybody's running their own line of construction. I'm on my what is it? My 12th house.
Wow.
Yeah, in 2 years. So yeah.
I took a peek through the Instagram page, dude. You built some like amazing houses.
Thank
dude.
you.
Yeah, dude. Did you have that vision, like, or do you have like people that work with you that
Yes. I do have to give. I'm a big person of giving credit to whoever deserves it. I got ideas from other buddies of mine that had more experience and whatnot. I grasped some information from them, some ideas, and then plus my ideas, and I just combine them together. Now I feel everyone has their own signature style way of doing things. I have my way. My other colleagues have their way. And I'm a big believer of creating your own signature for something. If you go to my office to get an insurance policy, I think we have a unique way of doing things. You're going to get a goodie bag. We're going to treat you different. We're going to give you a water and a house. If you buy a house from me, it's not going to be the same. You're not going to see the same exact house anywhere. Okay. Someone might copy it, but not me. I'm going to make sure that what I sell you, it's unique. You probably see a house that's it has the same door, but the garage is different or something like that.
So for you, it's more of the experience you're giving the person,
correct,
the customer. You know, like I like to be, treated well when I go to places. I'm a person that comes into a place and is like, "Hey, good morning, how are you?"
Yes.
And if that person doesn't say, "Hey, good morning, how are you?" back, I'm like, "Hey, good morning." Like, what's going on?
Yes.
That happened to me the other day at Costco. I was with my girl. We were walking by, and the girl that's there, checking the memberships. I was like, "Hey, good morning, how are you?" And she turned around. I'm like, "Hey, good morning, how are you?" She was like, "Oh, hey." I was like, "Hey, you gotta be happy." Like, you're giving me an experience. This is I know, I get it. It's a big corporation and everything, but you're still giving me an experience and something that I come back to. Going back to like, shops or places that you go into, you want to like be greeted well and make you feel well. You're like, "Hey, I want to spend my money here."
Yep. And that's one of the biggest things that I do. And I do follow. I follow my own rules. I'm a type of person that I'm not going to tell you to do something if I don't do it.
Yeah.
Customer service, I'm like that. I'm the person that will write a review on Yelp. I'm a person that will call the 1-800 number if your McDonald's machine does not, the ice cream machine is broken down.
Yeah.
I will do that. I've done that a couple of times. I pulled up in restaurants at midnight and, our taco machine is not working or whatever. Well, I'll call the next morning to report it. It's just, I know that corporate people will love to see that, because I know I will love to see it. If one of my employees is giving a person about customer service, I will love to know it. That way I can know what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I think I've mentioned it to you before. I used to work for insurance companies. I was
Oh, wow.
an estimator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
didn't know
So
that.
I used to go out. I used to work for Farmers and State Farm,
Okay.
and then those are two big survey
Companies.
companies.
Yep.
Like right after you give an estimate, you have to get a survey in order
Uh-huh.
for you to get like a good bonus and keep on getting good businesses. And I remember for me it was treating the customer well, going like all the way to where I can help
Yep.
you. And then it was like, hey, please give me a review afterward if I help you. And then I know, like, I don't know if this happens with you, but like, they give you a full survey, and then if they miss one question or two questions, it completely denies the survey. Like
Oh, wow.
you fail. They have to answer all questions.
Okay.
And going back to what you said, the corporate people like to see that.
Yep.
I get that from those insurance companies. They like to see the surveys. People
Yeah.
like to see what, hey, is my customer, my worker doing good, or are they giving you the good service?
We do that. Yeah. And I like to see that. And things that, I guess another advice to people that work for companies is I want to grow as a person, but I cannot grow if I still have to go back and babysit people. So it's one of those things that me, something that I say, they don't make them like me no more. I always say that. Why? Because I remember when I was working for this company's, I was working for Fred Loya, State Farm, and for another Allstate agents. I would go on and beyond to do things that they weren't asked for me, but I would do them. I'm like, people nowadays, they don't do that now. They're just like, they only go do what their job is, and that's it.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Don't you hate that mentality of people that are just like, hey, I don't get paid to do that. I'm just gonna not drop it.
Exactly, and that's I don't know what is it, but that's the biggest problem that I run into. To have people that are under low supervision, and for them to be under low supervision and actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. I was like that. Nobody supervised me. I knew what I needed to be done. I did it, and I let my job and my sales do the talking. That's why I was referring to where I was saying back then earlier. It's I would get promoted without me even applying, because people would see my job. They're like, hey, he's doing this, he's doing that. We don't tell him anything. He doesn't get us in trouble. Yeah. Like my job was making the noise. So nowadays it's not like that. People need to be told what to do. Hey, do this. And then they started going into that mentality. Well, I'm not getting paid to do this. It's like,
people don't understand this, but for a company to promote it in-house, it's like a revolving door. You're creating your staff well. Like, hey, this guy's doing well, I'm going to promote him, and then there's another promotion. Other than bringing in a new person that doesn't know much, and they don't know about the company, and you have to train them, and time. You don't know how that person is. Whether, on the other hand, you have an employee of yours that you know how he is, and you like the way he works, and you could trust them more. But some people don't have that mentality right now. Some people are just like, they could just find somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get those type of people, and there's also the people that that want the promotion ASAP. Okay, I already did everything that I had, everything that I was asked for. Now where's my promotion? I feel that everything comes in a perfect time. You can't push, you can't force timing, because I feel that I'm the type of person I felt I pay my dues. I pay my dues. I did everything that I had to do when I had to do it. Nobody told me what to do, and I just did everything. And everything felt in its time perfect. Because keep in mind, I wanted to become a cop. Yeah. And it went from becoming a cop to become a business owner in time slaps.
It's one of those drastic changes that life takes. Where you're, maybe my taco truck didn't work out, but shit, I'm gonna become something else now. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I totally understand that point. Have you ever I know that you've been que te han rechazado en diferentes lugares, but have you ever been so good at something and then you reach to the top and you're like, fuck, I can't move up because I don't have a certain requirement? Is it the cop thing?
That's it's I always see every time I have a lot of respect for law enforcement. And yeah, that's one of my things that I'm like, oh, because the age limit, I think, to become a cop is like 40 years old. I'm like, okay, I'm 33. I'm like, I still have time to become a cop.
Yeah.
I even applied. They have something that's called some program that you go in there and work for free 20 hours, but you get the badge and all that good. I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to get paid. I just wanted the experience of becoming a cop. Especially now, a lot of cops are being hated on because of racism and whatnot. That's not my situation. I have a lot of respect for them, but yeah, that's one of the things that I feel that I need to still do while I'm alive.
That's pretty cool, man. Now, changing a little subjects to, I peeked a little bit and I saw that you like playing music. You're bajo sexto guy.
Yes.
Yeah. How did that come out? Like, or are you like a child that likes music? Or
it's like I told you, I'm all over the place, and everything that I want to do, I just do it. Yes, I started off when I was like 16, 17. I started playing bajo sexto. I always like music. I'm a fan of music. So I started playing. I started practicing. My mom got me my first bajo sexto. I just went with the man that was training me how to play whatever I could afford. And $100 would give me like, I don't know, 4 hours. So I learned. I got into a little band. And then I remember I went to a cantina for the first time. Okay. And I was like, oh my God, like a cantina. I'm only 16 years old.
Yeah.
And it's scary. Like, okay, what am I doing here? So I started doing that. I just stopped playing about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Because I don't have no more time for it. But
it's that passion that you have for music that I see it. I see that, you always have like big parties with like big artists, and I'm like, oh snap, that's big, dude. And I that's something that I like myself too. I like music. I'm a big music guy. I play the trumpet, I play the trombone, and I play the tuba.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was in band since I was like 12, 11, and I was in marching band. I was that kid. I was in marching band. But, I'm originally from Mexico City. My grandma's from my mom's side is from Michoacan.
Okay.
We used to go there like every other summer. And we used to listen to like banda and stuff like that. Uh-huh. And my dad, he was like a big banda guy. At that time, it was like Banda Recodo, pero con Julio Preciado.
Okay.
So I was like the good Banda Recodo and like old school. And then me traía botas, and me traía sombreros, uh-huh. And me llevaba a los caballos. So a lot of people are like, man, how do you get this like norte side? Uh-huh. Yeah, I was like, what, dude? Because since I was little, my dad had that on him.
Okay.
And I love music, and just like you said, I like artists. I like I like having conversations. I've had chances to meet like famous artists, and I'm not the guy that like, oh wait, like your concert. I'm like, hey dude, like how'd you write this song? Like, uh-huh. Or how did you get to this part? And I always ask those kind of questions. I like to get into it with the music, not just the fan side of it.
No, yeah, and it's now. Thank God the tables have turned for me in a positive way, where I love music so much that I've hired big artists for my birthday. I'm actually planning my birthdays in July.
Wow, you planning it from right now?
I'm looking for bands right now. Exactly. So I'm already planning for my birthdays in July. So I'm already trying to quote Tucanes, Edición Especial, or someone big. That I want to celebrate my birthday.
You want to do like a Efrain Fest?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yaqui Fest.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to work on that now already.
What's the biggest artist you brought that you're like, oh snap? What is it, like your house that you do it, or
we do it at friend's house or my house, or we even close down like clubs, things like that.
I think I used to live on Curvy in Bel Air.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think one time I was 21, 22, and then I was like, hey, I'm going to go to the club. My friends and I were going, and we get there and they're like, oh, someone paid off. It was like a Tuesday or something, Thursday or something like that. Somebody paid off to close off the club. I was like, what? And I hear inside banda and stuff. I'm like, what? I want to go in there. And then, years come forward. And then, I found out that we have mutual friends, and they're like, "Oh, that's Efrain. He did that." I was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah. All of our parties are during the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. For that club in Kirby, I think it was
Lumen.
Ulises Chaires and Una Banda. It was 2 bands.
Yeah.
Or también it was Lenny Ramirez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like
Relampaguitos.
Relampaguitos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or
Yeah.
Relampaguitos.
I've listened to them before. They're a really good band. Also, I seen. Was it you that had Omar Chaparro?
Adrian Chaparro.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Adrian Chaparro.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy.
Yeah. I was with him 2 weeks ago. And then also last year we had Adrian Chaparro and Tito Torbellino Jr.
Wow.
Yeah, we had him 2 days.
Playing straight back.
Yeah.
How is that for you and a mentality where like you get to keep your feet in the ground? You're like,
it's normal. I like people message me, hey, invita or whatever, like come through, like there's nothing wrong. It's the artists, they're down to earth as well. We're there with them drinking, and they're just partying with us. They're just friends. We still haven't gotten like a conceited one that doesn't get off the truck until like it starts playing. No. All of the artists that we've hired, they're pretty down to earth. And going back to me, it's just I'm just a normal person like anybody else. Like it's just a regular party. For my daughter's birthday, we brought Secreto and Los Impostores, and it's like I was excited for my daughter.
Yeah.
We had Impostores a couple of times, Relampaguitos a couple of times. So
that's good. Now that you mentioned Impostores, saludos a mi compa Víctor, que va a ser papá.
Claro que sí.
Un saludazo. Un chef fiestón, ¿no? Que armó para su baby
shower.
Una baby shower review, ¿no? Algo así.
Saludos.
Que todos sábados habían andado ahí.
Sí, es camarada. Sí. We hired him. Lo hemos tenido varias veces. A ellos, a Relampaguitos, sí, muchos grupos.
How do you keep your circle small? I'm a person, I learned that big this year. Like, to be honest, I learned who my real friends are and who are my acquaintances. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'm a person that could cut off a person without even letting them know, and I just don't speak to him ever again.
Yeah.
Because I see that. Okay, well, I'm going to touch this subject with you. So let's say, you come off of bad terms with somebody, which I know you probably don't even realize that. You come to bad terms with that person, and that your friend surrounds himself with that person and that group of friends. I see it as, if you're a friend of everybody, you're really not my friend,
Correct.
I would like to have that mutual friendship where like, hey, bro, like, I know you don't mess with that guy. I'm with you. Like, and not to choose teams, but
correct.
I'm that kind of way. I don't know if it's a childish way to think about it, but I like to keep my circle like real small, where nobody really knows about me, or like I have 5 friends that I could count on, that I could call and be like, hey, bro, can you do this for me? And they'll be like, yeah, bro, I'll do that for you. Where I have like 15 friends and I can't call none of them. How do you manage that?
That does happen to me. And it usually tends to happen where, let's say I met you through a friend, I get more cool with you than the friend that we're mutual.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, if that happens, is because I think I created more of a respect with you than you kind of brushed off this other person. So I really don't care if you stop hanging around with me and you got more cool with my friend, the one I introduced you to, is probably because you kicked it off better. You kicked it off with that person, because there's probably more chemistry in that friendship that you have with me. But then I also have friends that are like, hey, I'm your friend. Like, tell me to jump and I'll jump. Yeah. So those people, I have them very close to me. But my circle's not very big. People tend to think that I'm like, oh my God, like I'm all over the place. And I still get text messages. Hey, what good club gets good here? Hey, if you're not doing anything, come to my house. I'll get all his invites, but I'm not that out there. I usually hang around with the same 5 group of people, same 5 group of friends. And I'm not that I'm not friendly. I am friendly, but at the same time, I just hang around the same people over and over.
I feel like this pandemic made me more lazy, and as in I didn't want to like meet new people.
More people.
I don't want to meet new people. You know, a lot of friends were like, "Hey, bro, come out, let's go drink." And I'm like, "Yeah, like let's go." And then it'll be like 15 people there, and I have to like talk to them all. And I'm just like, "Damn, bro, I don't want to be an asshole, dude."
Yeah.
But like, I know it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, I'd rather do something more productive at this point, you know. And that comes with the pandemic. You know, I lost a lot of interest to meeting people, like friends of friends, and like going like parties. I'm like, you know, I'm good.
Chill.
I choose my friends now. I choose the people that I would speak to, like people that I could pick their brain. Like I'd be like, "Hey, bro, like I have a question about this. Could you help me?"
Correct.
And I would like to be loyal to that person. You know, I have a few friends. I have my friend Jesse. He owns a birreria.
Okay.
And you know, he's been a good friend to me. I've known him for like a year now, and I could be like, "Hey, bro, like I still have a food truck. I don't know if you knew."
Oh wow.
Yeah. And he always guide me through there without even asking anything from me. Like, "Oh yeah, dude, do this," or he'll call me and give me constructive criticism. Are you like a person like that, or do you like to receive constructive criticism?
Yes, definitely, definitely. I don't take any bad, any that might seem negative. I don't take it bad. I don't take it like, oh, I'm a very positive person. So I don't, if you tell me something that's supposed to be negative, I'm like, okay, like he has a point. And I digest that opinion. I'm like, oh, I see why you said that, because I'm like that too. If I give you an advice, I'm going to tell you, why am I giving you that advice? I'm not just going to blur out my opinion. Okay. I'm going to give you an explanation as to why I'm giving you my opinion. So, but yeah, at all times, if someone's doing better than me, hey, by all means, tell me what you're doing different than what I'm doing, or vice versa.
Have you ever heard of that saying that, I don't know, I learned that when I came here to the U.S., that us Latinos, were like in a cup of, you know, like crawfish. One is already on the top and the other one grabs it and pulls it down and things like that. Do you believe in that, or you feel like that's just a certain kind of person?
No, I think it is like that. Yeah. I feel that, and I see it. Because remember, I told you I was knocking on doors and I'll get no. Now that, thank God, I've done good for myself. Those people see me different now. They're like, hey, come over, whatnot. It's not bad, but at the same time, it's like I still have behind my head, like you closed, like you gave me no, or you closed the door. I asked for help and you told me no.
How did you manage to, you know, act cool in that situation?
They had the reason as to why they said no, which at this point I actually thank them, because they made me stronger. I'm like, okay, you're no, like, you know, push me. I feel myself that I got cornered. I got cornered where I was like, I got to do this for myself. So thanks for all those no's. I got my yes, and I did it by myself. Yeah. Because if I would have gotten help from people, they would have, at this point, I think they would have been like, hey, I helped you. Yeah. I helped you. And you're there because of me. I was like, I can go back and say, I can give thanks to people that helped me in the advice way and things like that. But in the financial way, when I was asking for help, I got my doors closed. So I did that by myself.
Yeah. I mean, I run into a few situations where like doors were closed when I first opened my food truck, where like, you know, doors were closed because, hey, you know, I want to have this other person here. This person is doing better than you. And, you know, that's better for my brand, you know. And now looking at it from my perspective now, you know, maybe my food truck's not open, but I still get business even if it's not open, you know. Okay. And the other brands that were chosen over me don't exist anymore. So, you know, it's like,
it gives you a good feeling.
It gives me a good feeling, you know, like, hey, you know, maybe it didn't work out for you, but, you know, it worked out for me.
Yep.
I'm happy, you know, and, you know, I made that food truck for my mom.
Oh, wow.
Because she likes cooking. And back in Mexico City, we had a little small mariscos place outside the house. We used to go to this market called La Viga.
Okay.
It's where all the big seafood comes from all over the coast. And they bring it to Mexico City and they distribute it to restaurants. So we used to go there. And it was like 5 a.m. in the morning. I used to go with my parents and we'll pick out the fish so they could make ceviche, cocteles, ostiones. It was everything. And my mom would sell out like at 12. Like by 12, everything was already gone. So one day, I'm like, hey, Mom, I want to do this. Like, quiero vender ceviches y quiero vender cócteles. And she was like, well, do it. Like, do it. I was like, okay. So that week I went, I bought a trailer. I put everything together inside the trailer. Like, I got a carpenter to build a kitchen. Like, in 1 week, everything. It's because I'm like that, you know? Like, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it right now. So I built that trailer in like a week and a half, dude. And then I got new wheels on it. I got floor on it, fridges. And I told my mom, I'm ready to open. She was like, mijo, like, it's been like 2 weeks since you told me. And I was like, yeah, I'm ready to open. Let's do it. We had our grand opening. Not kid you not, I had like 200 people there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I had 200 people there. I had bands playing. We sold out like within an hour and a half or two. People kept on coming. Like, hey, we don't have any more. Sorry. Wow. And
was that the first day?
That was the first day I ever opened. Yeah. And but it was word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like, the first person came and they tried it and they called their own. Like, hey, come try this out. And they brought everyone. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I really posted on Instagram or anything like that. And I had a lot of people and I sold out. So, you know, it went on like that. And I like I said, I built this for my mom. Is there any like legacy that you want to leave for your kids, or like do you want to have for
them? The first and foremost that I think I want to leave my kids, and that's something I tell people about, is getting life insurance. Like, not to sell it. You don't have to buy it for me by all means, but that's something that I don't want my kids to struggle when I pass away or whatnot. So the legacy is for me to leave them already and pretty much running already.
Yeah.
I have quite a few life policies for them, and also teaching them that you have to work for what you want. It's a double-edged sword with kids nowadays, because I give them what they want, but they're not seeing how I work for them because they're kids. I mean, so now when they grow up, it's like, well, my dad used to give me everything. Yeah. It's like, so it's a double-edged sword versus me. I wouldn't get everything that I wanted, so I had to work for it. So now I value the things. But with kids, it's kind of like, I give them everything. They're not going to value they're not going to value it. And it's one of those things. But I guess the legacy is just, I want to leave them set, which I'm doing that for them.
And then, you know, about the life insurance, I've seen you post a few things about life insurance. I've seen a lot of people pass away this year, you know,
definitely.
And then I hate to see, not that I hate to see, I just don't like seeing the GoFundMe accounts.
Yeah. The GoFundMe, I mean, by all means, everyone works.
It helps you.
Yeah. By all means, it's the way I see it is GoFundMe is not a life insurance. I picture it. Okay, imagine I die tomorrow or today or whatever. Everyone's gonna die. Everyone. It sounds harsh, but it's reality. Okay, by you knowing that, do you just imagine yourself like, hey, we don't have money to bury Efrain. Like, it's 20,000. His accounts are on hold because whatever reason they're trying to get death certificate. It's a lot of behind the scenes things. Get a life insurance. Hey, you know what? It's very inexpensive. There's anywhere from like $20 to like $500 to $1,000. You put the price. Yeah. Whenever I sell insurance, life insurance is pretty much, I ask you, how much do you want to spend a month? And then based off of that, I'll give you what you're able to afford. And then you tell me, okay, that's enough or it's not. So with that being said, I don't like to see the GoFundMe accounts. I don't like to be struggling selling tacos because you're trying to bury your dad, your brother, your sister, whatever. It's not the time. Like, it's not. Imagine right now. Right now, it's pretty like 40 degrees, 50 degrees. Yeah. It's cold. We have to bury you tomorrow. We need money. You're still at the morgue.
You have somebody making tacos.
Exactly.
In the kitchen.
I mean, come on.
It doesn't work out.
Do you want to do that? Like,
yeah. I realized that at a young age because I used to see a lot of people die.
Yeah.
But you see, here's the thing. Those people that were dying were like flashy, like clubs, fighting,
bottles,
places, bottles, and shit. Comes the day you die, you're asking me for money. You're asking the world for money, and
GoFundMe that.
Yeah, GoFundMe account to help for my burial. But damn, I saw you with a nice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I learned that, and through my job, I gained a life policy because I was like, man, the day something happens to me, I don't want my mom to be like, hey,
worried about.
Yeah, or I don't want her to be asking people for money, which I know my mom probably wouldn't do. because she always said, like, I hate asking for money. I hate it. I hate borrowing money. Like, I hate borrowing money. I hate, borrowing money from anybody, from my mom, from my dad, from anybody. I'll struggle to the point where, like, I know that I can't do it anymore. And I'll just like, damn, like, Mom, can you let me do this? And and the day I get the money, I give it back to her, and I'm like, hey, please don't ever let me borrow money again. And I hate it, and thank God that this past 2 years for me have been amazing, and I've not struggled at all. I got my shit together. We got our house, we furniture everything, and we traveled a lot this past year. Did you do any traveling this past year?
I didn't.
No.
I mean, I went to Mexico probably like twice, and that's it.
Where have you traveled before? Like before that, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a very Mexico person. I go to Mexico City, went to Guadalajara, went to I'm from San Luis Potosí. I go to San Luis Potosí, San Miguel de Allende.
Oh, wow.
Went there twice this year. So yeah.
Can you agree with me that you can never get bored of Mexico?
No, can never.
Okay, so my girl, she is from Iran, and her mom is Salvadorian. Okay. So, she had never been to Mexico, and her idea of Mexico was El Tiempo, Papacitos.
Okay.
And, she gets with me, and the second month that we're together, I take her to Cancun. She was like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Like, okay. Year goes back, and then this year, we said we were going to travel. We went to Mexico City, and she was like, oh my God, it's nice. We went to Cabo San Lucas, and she loved it. But after that second one, she was like, hey, babe, I don't want to go back to Mexico. Like, let's go somewhere else. And I'm like, well, why? She was like, because you're already from Mexico and you keep on going back. And I was like, well, yeah, because it has. You can never get bored of it.
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, let's not go to Mexico. And we went to Aruba.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to Aruba. Beautiful place. You have to go. It's beautiful. It's a small island. A lot to do. And since it's de Holanda, es una colonia de Holanda. Entonces hay muchas culturas ahí, peruanas, colombianas, venezolanas, people that migrate to that little island. So it's a lot of food, a lot of party. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So I'm going back to the point. We went to Aruba. We come back. She was like, hey, we have time for another trip. I was like, I know. She was like, well, let's book Cancun again. I was like, I thought you said, I was like, I thought you said you don't want to go to Mexico no more. She was like, yeah, but it's cheap and it's so good over there. Yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, like, I mean, that's why you keep on going back. I mean, it's affordable. Yeah. I mean, te puedes dar tus lujos like, yeah, like a lot of, you could do a lot. And, now next year she was like, hey, well, we should go to this place in Mexico.
She's hooked now to Mexico.
She's like that. Did you go to Guanajuato, you said, right?
Yeah, San Miguel de Allende.
Oh, wow. That place is beautiful. No, I have not gone, actually.
That place is wonderful.
Yeah, I missed out on it 3 months ago. My parents went to Mexico City, and they took a tour, like all over Mexico. Not all over Mexico, but within the inside. Yeah, and then went to San Miguel de Allende, and they stayed there at night, and it looked beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I went there twice this year. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, it's Guanajuato. So Jose Alfredo Jimenez and on the music there.
Exactly.
I heard that there's a bar site where like it was every bar that he wrote a song in.
We went to one. It was like a La Cantina, but it wasn't a cantina. It was a restaurant, botanero kind of thing. Yeah, he had. I think it was his, or he owns it.
Oh wow!
And there was nothing but like his pictures and whatnot. But yeah, it's pretty dope.
That's cool, man. So you traveled. Is there other hobbies that you like to have?
I mean, I play music. I bought a Bajo Sexto last week.
Oh wow!
I don't even play no more. Yeah. I just bought it because I like music. That's one of my hobbies, and I'm a very workaholic. I just that's my hobby. Work.
So your day is what? You wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning.
I don't put my alarm. My phone is my alarm. So my phone starts ringing. Whoever decides to call me first, that's pretty much the person that wakes me up. I was like, all right, let's get the day started. I mean, it could be 6, it could be 7. Text message this, someone calling in, whatnot. Pouring foundation. Hey, trucks are there at 5 a.m. So just I don't have a plan on a daily basis. Like when you ask me, what are you gonna do tomorrow for work? I don't know.
Yeah, whatever happens.
Just whatever comes up to me, I'll execute it. So yeah, that's how my day starts. 7 a.m, for the most of the part, 7, 8 in the morning, I'll leave my house, or it's probably an admin day. I'll probably sit behind the computer most of the day, since that is an admin day. And then I'll go get something to eat. Then go get the houses, go oversee the houses. And then that's Monday. And Tuesdays, you know what? Today's Tuesday, I'm going to go to the office. I spend there most of the day. And then Wednesday, I go to another other office. And then Thursday, probably go back to the houses again. And then on Friday, you know what Fridays is, I don't know, I'll go like a cycle of houses, and probably the teeth whitening place, things like that.
The teeth whitening place, you had mentioned that to me before. Is that, you said it was in?
It's in the Gallery area. It's a franchise as well called Naturally White.
Okay.
It's the busiest location to my knowledge. Yeah, we just do teeth whitening there.
How did you get to that?
Pretty much the plan was offered. To buy that franchise. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. I have someone to run it. I'm like, okay, well then go for it. Yeah. So I just did it, and it's worked out pretty good.
Wow. Pretty good. Yeah. You know, I've seen a lot of that. The franchise. You know, people are franchising things. Yep. I had a conversation yesterday with my girlfriend. We went to go eat at this place called Howdy Chicken. Okay. Over there on West Alabama, somewhere around there. And we had this conversation about franchising things. It was like, that was a franchise from Nevada. Okay. And, you know, I was like, well, I wonder if they have like same quality at every single place. We've seen this documentary about McDonald's, how there's two brothers bought a franchise of McDonald's, and they had the same menu, but they were buying like their own products. Okay. And they were buying cheap stuff, and they're like messing up the menu for McDonald's, and they went through lawsuits with McDonald's because it wasn't the same quality. Yeah. Are you ever afraid of that, you know, you franchise things or, and you know, that person doesn't do the same quality? No, everything's pretty uniformed. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer of why reinvent the wheel when it's already there. Yeah. So I just follow the guidelines. There's things that I would love to change and switch. I'll bring them up, but if it doesn't, it's okay. I'll live with what it is. I'm going to ask you another question that was asked to me this week by somebody on Instagram, because I do like little questions on Instagram. This person went on a venture with a partner, you know, a business partner. Okay. And they gave the money to that person, and that person went and registered the business. Okay. But when she comes to find out, the person registered the business under his name. Only his name. How could you prevent that, or how could you give him advice to be like, hey, like, do this a better way, organized?
I'm very hands-on with everything. So when me open a business, we both are going to go open the business. Yeah. We both go open the bank account. We both do everything. So my hands are everywhere. That's something, and especially if trust is not there, you should definitely be there. I mean, my advice is just to be there. I'm not the type of person that just, let me give you handy money. I mean, I could trust you all you want, but I want to be there. I want to know what's being done with my money and whatnot. So,
but I feel like if there's no trust initially, then there shouldn't be a business exactly. Way, you know?
So that should be a red flag already. And a lot of people get scammed like that as well, because me in the houses, I sometimes have investors, and they I don't sign a contract or anything like that. It's pretty much a trust contract, I guess. And I do something. My signature is my trust, is my contract, mi contrato contigo. Yeah. Mi firma es mi palabra.
Pues es que si un hombre sin palabra, pues no,
sí.
La verdad, no.
So ahorita, si yo no creo que estuviera en donde estoy, si tuviera gente andándome buscando que les debo, ese canijo trae un reloj nuevo y a mí me debe. O sea, cositas así, no. Porque mi firma es mi palabra. O sea, no. Ahorita, o sea, no. Yo no estoy alguien que me ande buscando. No tengo enemigos que yo sepa. Nada de eso.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the, you know, people that ask for that kind of stuff. Another person asked, they recently opened a business. and it's not going so well for them. And I want to go back to where you said that you got to give the person a good experience in your business for them to come back. Is there a way you could help them, like how to market their business? How could they bring more people into their business?
Yes, and what's been successful with me is not looking for family and friends to support your business. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that I've actually got to learn, because when I started, I think any of my businesses, that's the people that actually, it's like that saying goes, they want to see you do good, but not better than them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's one of those, I was like, hey, they congratulate you, but it's like, but you haven't came over here and gotten a product for me, but then you have friends that see you through social media. They actually want to purchase from you. They do want to go see your business and things like that. So my advice is, if you're just marketing with your family and friends, don't go that way. I mean, go people that you don't know or something like that.
I've read another book it was saying that even the stranger helps you more than your friend.
Yep.
Yeah, because sometimes your friend could see you selling something, like, no, and then a stranger would see it, like, oh, I want to buy it, and they'll tell everybody else about it. When your friend sees it, he just skips the story,
and he'll probably buy it from somewhere else.
Yeah, because it's cheaper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. Like when I go visit my friends that have businesses, I don't lowball them. Like, hey, vendemelo más barato, because I have a business. I make sure that I pay whatever sticker price you got on it. That's what I'm paid, because at the end of the day, I'm going to probably buy it, and then I'll buy it from someone that I don't know. I'd rather buy it from you.
Nice. That's good. Well, I created this post on Instagram. Let me pull it up right here.
Sure.
And it was about picking a button and then see what button would you choose. I don't know if you can see here.
Okay, but one remote.
So you got 4 buttons. One is to read minds for 3 days. The second one is never die. 4th is to bring someone back from the death. Or the 3rd is, time travel. What button would you choose?
I think time travel.
Why did you choose time travel?
Time travel because going back to that age 27 that I brought up, that by age 27 I needed to do this. If I would have started like sooner, I would have been more successful. It's like, I wish I still have that in my head. Like, I wish I had more time. Like, I wish I had more time to. I mean, the second option would be never die. That way I can do whatever.
But wouldn't that mess with you though? That never die.
Yeah, I mean,
because you'll see everybody else die, and you'll stay by yourself.
Exactly, and then you're not gonna feel the pressure like, oh, I'm gonna die one day.
Yeah, I mean, are you a big movie guy? Like you watch movies?
When I have time, I really don't.
Have you ever watched Captain America?
Yes.
Did you watch the last movie where he decides to untreat himself from never dying because he had already lost everybody that he loved?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, good point.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he's like, "Hey, I don't want to be Captain America anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I lost my girl that I love, and then I lost everybody else. Like,
you've seen them die, and he's still there.
And that's unhappy. Reap minds for 3 days.
Which one would you have picked,
dude? Honestly, I would have picked the read minds for 3 days.
Why?
Because I would have just gotten rid of people.
that was good, but. Yeah. I feel that one. I can already kind of read them. Like,
yeah. Are you a person where you read like mine?
Yeah, like I think I can.
Read the vibe of a person.
I can read the vibe. Like I can sense, like, if you're talking to me some way, talk to me. If you're talking over me, it's kind of like, okay, you don't. I read all that.
Oh wow.
I mean I feel like I have that ese instinto de saber como que, like, este canijo no le caigo bien, o sí le caigo bien, o encajé con alguien, o no. Because I'm pretty diversified. Like, puedo hablarte inglés, puedo hablarte español, puedo estar escuchando inglés, puedo estar escuchando español, puedo escuchar corridos, puedo escuchar pop, o sea, un poquito de todo.
Muy bien. And then, the 4th one says, bring someone back from the dead. Honestly, myself, I don't identify myself with that because I haven't had like a big loss yet. But how would you feel about that one?
I'm the same way as you. Like bring someone from the dead. I mean, yeah, it would be kind of weird actually.
Yeah.
So
Going through, going through the whole process of telling the person how you died. And it's like, exactly. That way. Yeah. Then, so this is the little interactions that I do with the people on Instagram. You know, people actually interact with the page, which is kind of like cool. And I want to thank everybody for actually interacting with it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, you know, the whole concept is for every episode is for me to have different things like this and for me to be able to talk them out with the guest. Is there something that comes to mind, something that you think will help a younger person watches this episode, or good advice that you could give to the people watching?
Pretty much just going back, if you want to become successful, you have to put in the time, you have to put your passion into it and apply that to yourself. And then it will give you positive results. If you're trying to fix something that's already broken, whether it's a relationship, work, or whatnot, and you're not doing anything different towards changing that to make it positive, then you got to switch the formula or do something. I mean, pretty much that's it. I mean, just stop. Like people ask me, like, what do I do for a living? It's not what I do for a living. It's what I do for me. What I love doing in order for me to be successful. So what is it that you love in order to apply that to yourself to be successful?
Wow. That's good advice, and I hope everybody takes that in. Also, can you give your social media where people could follow you?
My Instagram is the Insurance Lord.
Okay.
You can find me there on Instagram. Efrain Rodriguez on Facebook, and Snapchat Efrain_RDZ. Cool. That's pretty much. Oh, and then TikTok as well.
Yeah, that's TikToker.
Yeah, I have like 12,000 followers.
Oh, snap!
Yeah, okay. So I post a little videos because there's pretty much you post something and it kind of blows up. But yeah, and TikTok I have the Insurance Lord as well.
Wow, I'll link them below. You guys could also listen to this via podcast on Spotify. Hopefully, by the time this is out, we're on iTunes Music now.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're on iTunes Music, Spotify, and YouTube. So thank you again for being here, Efrain. I really appreciate you taking your time. I know you're a really busy guy, and also hopefully, you know, we could do a part 2 of this podcast one of these days. And again, thank you for being here, and see you next time.
Awesome. Thank you.
How was that?
That's cool.
Yeah.